3 questions that instantly rebuild emotional connection after a fight. Most people believe a fight ends when the shouting stops, when the silence settles, or when someone finally says it's okay. But psychologically, that's often where the real damage begins. Because after conflict, people rarely reconnect with each other, they reconnect with a story. A story about who was right, who was wrong, who cared more, who failed. And the longer that story survives, the more emotional distance grows. The strange thing is that emotional disconnection rarely happens because two people stop loving each other. It happens because they stop feeling understood, they stop feeling seen, they stop feeling emotionally safe enough to reveal what is happening beneath the surface. In a world obsessed with winning arguments, very few people learn how to rebuild connection. Yet, some of the strongest relationships share a hidden trait. They know how to return to understanding faster than they return to agreement. And surprisingly, that process can begin with just 3 questions. Not manipulative questions, not therapeutic scripts, but questions that gently dissolve defensiveness and invite honesty back into the room. The deeper we go, the more you'll notice something unexpected. The real conflict is often not what the fight was about, it's what the fight revealed. The first question is, what did this experience feel like for you? At first glance, this sounds simple. Almost too simple. After all, most people assume they already know how the other person feels. But this assumption is exactly where emotional distance begins. Human beings are meaning-making creatures. When conflict happens, the mind immediately becomes a storyteller. It fills gaps, creates explanations, builds certainty. And certainty feels comforting. The problem is that certainty often replaces curiosity. Instead of asking what someone experienced, we decide what they experienced. Instead of listening, we interpret. Instead of discovering, we conclude. Psychologists have long observed that emotional wounds deepen when people feel misunderstood. Not because the original event was catastrophic, but because their internal reality was never acknowledged. Imagine 2 people standing in the same storm. One remembers the lightning, the other remembers the cold. The storm was identical, the experience was not. This first question interrupts a dangerous pattern. It shifts the conversation from facts to experience, from accusation to understanding, from courtroom to conversation. And something remarkable happens when people are invited to describe their experience rather than defend their position. Defensiveness begins to soften because most people are prepared to argue. Very few are prepared to be genuinely understood. Ancient wisdom traditions repeatedly point toward this truth. Human beings long not merely to be heard, but to be known. Not merely observed, but understood beneath appearances. An emotional connection begins where curiosity becomes stronger than certainty. But this is where things become dangerous because understanding someone's feelings is not the same as understanding the deeper meaning beneath those feelings. And this leads us to a question that goes much deeper. The second question, what hurt the most about what happened? Notice how different this question is. The first explored experience, the second explores significance. Because conflicts are rarely about the visible event, they're about the invisible interpretation attached to it. A forgotten message may feel like abandonment, a harsh tone may feel like rejection, a broken promise may awaken an old fear of being unimportant. This is what most people never notice. The emotional pain of conflict is often connected to something larger than the conflict itself. The mind does not experience events in isolation, it connects present moments to older emotional maps. A single disagreement can activate years of hidden fears. Not because someone is irrational, but because human beings carry emotional history everywhere they go. Think of emotional pain like an iceberg. The visible argument sits above the surface, the deeper wound remains below. Most conversations focus on the tip, but healing happens underneath. When you ask, what hurt the most about what happened, something profound becomes possible. You stop discussing behavior, and you begin discovering meaning. And meaning is where emotional intimacy lives. Perhaps the answer has nothing to do with the original argument. Perhaps the real wound was feeling invisible, or unimportant, or unsafe, or alone. This question allows hidden realities to emerge. Not as weapons, not as evidence, but as truth. And truth has a unique quality, it often disarms where logic fails. Many people spend years trying to solve relational problems by improving communication techniques. Yet communication is not always the issue. Sometimes the deeper issue is unspoken pain. Pain waiting for permission to reveal itself. There is an old spiritual pattern found across sacred traditions. Transformation often begins not when wounds are hidden, but when they are brought into the light. What remains concealed tends to govern us. What becomes visible can finally be healed. But even this question is not the deepest one. Because understanding someone's pain is powerful. Yet there is something even more powerful than understanding pain, understanding need. And this is where emotional reconnection truly begins. The third question, what do you need from me now? This question changes everything because most post-conflict conversations become trapped in the past. Who said what? Who caused what? Who started what? The discussion circles endlessly around the wound. But healing requires movement. And movement requires direction. This question shifts attention from history to possibility, from blame to rebuilding, from injury to restoration. Psychologically, there is a reason this matters. Every emotional reaction points toward an unmet need. Beneath frustration may be a need for respect. Beneath anger may be a need for safety. Beneath withdrawal may be a need for understanding. Beneath criticism may be a longing for connection. When needs remain hidden, people fight symptoms. When needs become visible, people can finally address causes. And this is what most people never notice. The deepest human desire is often not to be agreed with, it is to feel emotionally secure enough to be authentic. To know that vulnerability will not be punished. To know that honesty will not be weaponized. To know that being imperfect will not result in rejection. The third question creates space for this. It invites collaboration. It says, we cannot change what happened, but perhaps we can build something wiser from it. And suddenly the conversation becomes less about winning, less about proving, less about defending, and more about creating, more about understanding, more about becoming. The ancient spiritual insight hidden beneath many wisdom traditions is that reconciliation is not weakness, it is strength guided by humility. Not surrendering truth, not denying reality, but choosing restoration over ego, choosing understanding over self-protection, and choosing growth over pride. Because relationships rarely collapse from a single disagreement, they collapse when people stop moving toward each other after disagreement. And these three questions quietly reverse that process. So, before judging the last conflict you experienced, consider these questions honestly. When someone shares their feelings, do you become curious or defensive? Do you spend more energy explaining yourself than understanding the other person's experience? During conflict, are you listening for truth or listening for ammunition? Can you identify what actually hurt beneath the argument? When someone disappoints you, do you communicate your needs clearly, or hope they will somehow discover them? Do you seek agreement more than understanding? And perhaps the deepest question of all. If every argument stripped away the surface details, what recurring emotional wound would remain? The answer may reveal more about your inner world than any conflict ever could. Perhaps emotional connection is not as fragile as we think. Perhaps it is not destroyed by conflict itself. Perhaps it is damaged when curiosity disappears, when certainty replaces understanding, when ego becomes more important than truth. A fight is often imagined as a wall. But sometimes it is a doorway. A doorway into deeper honesty, deeper self-awareness, deeper understanding of another human being's hidden world. The people who build lasting relationships are not those who avoid conflict, they are those who learn how to return from conflict carrying greater wisdom than they had before. And maybe that is one of life's quiet paradoxes. The moments that threaten connection most intensely can also become the moments that strengthen it most profoundly if approached with enough humility to ask the right questions. So here's a question for you. Which of these three questions do you think would have changed a past conflict in your life the most, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflection may help someone else see their own relationships in a completely new way.